We just completed our 5th section hike of the Sheltowee, and we did it from trailhead at Van Hook Falls to Cumberland Falls. I think it's officially around 21 miles, but there's a reroute in there, so we're thinking maybe we hit 22, not sure. Things always change with the Sheltowee, but I wanted to make a video. Probably it's going to be more for myself, but hopefully you'll find some benefit in this, of a bit of shakedown of the things that I brought. I just weighed, I didn't weigh the clothes I was wearing. I did weigh my backpack, and I think it's minus the weight of the water, and there may be a little bit of water in the jugs. We'll see that in a moment, but it was right at about 19 pounds, so I'm very happy with the weight. And I'll say more about it later, but very happy with the Granite Gear backpack. It rides very well, and even has this bit of internal frame here that you can pull out if you want to sit on. I've taken it out just to see what it looks like, but then it gets a bit mushy, and I don't want to not use the backpack without that bit of internal frame there. But it can be used to sit on and things like that. But I'll tell you, it's a little bit extra weight, but this is my chair, and yeah, maybe we're looking at 2 to 3 pounds for this. I'm not exactly sure. I don't have one of those little weight things that to see the nickel and diming of each of the weights, but this is invaluable, I think, because several times throughout, particularly this section and others that we've done since I've had this, it's just been valuable. And I don't want to sit on a stump. I don't want to sit on a rock, even though I will do that from time to time. And I don't want to pull this pad out. It is a little harder to get out of here to make that accessible and usable. The chair, it goes in the outside mesh pocket, and very, very good to have. It's a must for me anymore. I did have my rain fly in here, which I'm going to have to adjust if I'm serious about using a rain fly, because this doesn't quite cover the pack well enough. I bought this at a yard sale for pennies, and but I carry it because it will cover most of it. And I did have an emergency poncho, even though there was no rain in the forecast. Now, on my head, I'm wearing what I wore the whole time. Initially, we were going to do the trek from Natural Bridge to Heidelberg, and there's just a lot of road walking there, and this hat would have been big time needed. And sunscreen. I did not use sunscreen on my arms, which I probably should have, on my neck, because this only covers so much when you're on the sun. But we were in the canopy quite a bit, and I didn't think I was going to get a ton of sun, but this was on my head just about all the time, unless I had this on for a short time, which, you know, I do the kind of the prison mic kind of deal. You know, it's pulling my hair back kind of thing. You didn't know this was going to turn into a fashion show. Since we're talking about clothing right now, I've got, I won't go into too much detail, but it's good to get a little bit more breathable underwear, and this is mainly polyester, I think. Anyway, this is good. Good underwear. That was my second pair. The other one, I didn't bring that out, or at least I don't think it's out here. And word to the wise, I want to be thoughtful in the future, because I like an undershirt with my overshirt, which I usually spray down with permethrin, but this time I had to use DEET, because I ordered some permethrin from Amazon and it came a day late and $1 short for this trip. So I couldn't spray down the hat, couldn't spray down the pants, couldn't spray down the shirt. I know I'm doing a little bit of rabbit trail here right now, but the DEET did help. I did have one tick down here on my leg, and you can see a little bit of the bump there right now. I pulled that little sucker off last night, and he looked more reddish than brown. He's just a little guy, and I hate those things. So for the most part, the DEET did a good job, I'm thinking, because we went through a lot of overgrowth. Almost needed a machete to go through some of the places that we went through. But anyway, to go back to the clothing, I always wear little polyester shirts. These are very breathable. Of course, the pants are very breathable. I'll tell you something about those in a minute. But my undershirts are not completely 100% polyester, and they held. See, they're still wet today, and this is a no-no. I can't do that in the future. I just felt that all over me all day. Just felt wet all day, and so I may have to just go with 2 of these, and we just see how that will work. The socks, the inner liners for both days, I use these Injinji. They're the weird ones with the toes, which at first feel doesn't seem doable for the day, but you get used to them pretty quick. And the issue for me, and I didn't even bring my shoes out, which are trail runners, Huku trail runners, which I won't do this with anything, but they're just lightweight, and I can even step almost in a puddle and not feel the moisture. But those are great shoes. But the main issue with me is pushing my foot and my toes specifically into the front of the shoe, and that causes a lot of discomfort throughout the day. And you know, I'm constantly wiggling my toes just to kind of get some circulation and feeling in there. Now, none of the toenails have turned black or anything like that, so there isn't any issues there, but I can feel that prolonged. If I was doing a through hike, I'd have to think of something else. I don't know if I need a shoe a little bit wider or what, but it's something to consider. These liners were great. I put the merino wool socks over them. That makes it tighter in the shoe. Except for my go inside. Just wait a second. So that makes it tighter in the shoe, and so that is an issue. Maybe I need a little bit thinner sock for that. But I didn't feel any hot spots on my feet throughout, and I was thankful for that. Well, I take that back. You know, there's a little bit of issues there, and I would say with prolonged through hiking, it would be an issue, and I'd have to address that along the way. Love the Columbia pants. I won't hike without pants. There's just a great barrier protection, particularly in regard to poison ivy. I may even have some on me right now. I'm not sure. I did fall, and so some of that's from that, but I'm not sure if there's a little patch of poison ivy right in my scrapes there. So I don't want to wear long sleeves, especially in the humid summers. It's just too much. Maybe I should try it just to see what it feels like. It may not be that much of an issue. That would help my arms and cover them up, but definitely the pants do that. The only issue with the pants, and maybe I need to wear a belt with these, is when I have them fastened and the pack's on me, sometimes I'm wearing the waist strap and sometimes I'm not, just to kind of give my back and shoulders and hips, you know, just chance to kind of recuperate as I'm walking. But when I've got the straps on my waist, it tends to push the pants down, so I'm kind of wearing low riders. And sometimes I'm kind of thinking that there's a little just too much exposure going on right there, but it's not the case. It just feels like that. This time around, water was a big issue. Not big in that we couldn't find it, because that's part of the reason why we did what we did in mixing up our sections. The one we were going to do to Heidelberg, not much water. We were going to have to think about something to to augment our water supply, especially when it being around 90 degrees, hiking in the full sun. But this section, plenty of access to creeks, Laurel River, mainly the Cumberland River and everything that dumps into it. Plenty of water. But, you know, just like with anything that adds weight, 19 pounds goes up a lot more when you're filling these water bottles up. One thing I should just kind of keep in mind, I use this one to add some Propel for some electrolytes, and that came in handy because I needed that. But this is my main water bottle. I should have had another one of these just in case, because this weighs nothing. My little Go Time bottle weighs a fraction of anything else, and it was I just should have had an extra bottle just in case. Looking over my pack here, it looks pretty good. I mean, it's in good shape. I fell a couple times, or not a couple times, I fell, and so there's no scrapes or tears. Brought the little knife, not a little knife, but a little bigger knife. Only one of us used it, and so, you know, I don't know whether, I think it's just good to have a knife with us. Brought some pepper spray. We were in bear country, but didn't hear anything, didn't see anything. Had a lot of jokes about this spoon spork thing. I found my plastic one that I like to use, and I just kind of stuck this onto my backpack. Everybody thought it was unnecessary weight, which, you know, if you're gonna nickel and dime it, whatever, it is what it is. It's just my little thing that just likes to hang there, and I may rethink taking that off. Anyway, who cares? I'm gonna go out of order on some stuff. Well, Joseph brought AL8s for us. He lugged these in to our campsite that first night, and thank you, Joseph, for that. It's always good to get some AL8s and drink that at dinner time. My little first aid package, which I've got one of these little USB charger things. This thing failed me, so we're going to get another one of those. Gold Bond Essential. I may need to do a little bit more research on that, but I think this is the best stuff for me to use. When I fell, used a little bit of this triple antibiotic ointment, so it's good to have that. Use a couple times some Advils, some ibuprofen, and so a lot of these things were useful, but not all of it was used. But it's good to have a first aid kit. Didn't use this, but it doesn't weigh a whole lot. Gotta have it just in case you gotta poop in the woods. For me, I may have said this on the other video, this is just a pro tip. I don't even know if it's a good medical tip. But excuse me. But before I go, I take some ibuprofen. It helps take care of that issue until I get home, since I'm only hiking 2 days. I won't tell you what I use this for. Let your imagination go on that one. I know it's a TMI, but if you're an older hiker, it may be helpful to have something like that. I don't have a bear bag, and I'm gonna have to rethink that when we start going south of Cumberland Falls. It's more bear territory in the Big South Fork, and I'm gonna have to think through what that's gonna look like. So I'm a little reckless with this. I put my food in just a compression sack, but I've got them in these odor-free packs, and I just kind of left it near my tents. It's probably not the best practice. That's not a pro tip. Don't do what I do. Hang your bag. I've got some rope in here, and I could have done that, but we set up our tents by 9 and we were eating. I just didn't want to mess with it, and so I was lazy. Not a best practice, but I do like these odor-free packs. I'm just taking their word for it. I can't smell anything. I use one of them for my trash and one of them for my food. I pretty much gauged what I was going to eat. I actually was going to eat the tuna for lunch the second day on Saturday because I had one on Friday, but I never did get to it. I don't know what I ate. It's all a blur right now. But I've got a little bit of trail mix left over in the tuna. Tuna's always a big hit for me because it's just tasty. It does weigh a little bit, 2.5 ounces, but it is a great snack. And so there's all that. Water filtration. I probably should have gone with 2 options. I was just trying to save weight, but I wanted to give this one more of a try. The Sawyer Mini, and the Sawyer Mini is kind of fine, even though the stream is very small. I'm gonna have to backwash this and see what the deal is. But these little bags that they give you to fill up are almost pointless, and I hate doing it. But to give this bag a chance in the water, you've got to have a bit of water to dip this in, then to attach this on to filter it. You gotta have it inflated, and that means you're putting your mouth on the yucky that you're trying to keep from putting in your mouth. And so there's that. Whatever. Oh, here's that spoon fork combo. I like this this thing, and I just stick it in with my food bag, so I don't need that other deal. This is my clothes bag, and okay, I got my yucky socks that I wore the first day. The shorts I wore for night. I brought these actually in case I wanted to get in the water during the day, not thinking that I would like to just wear these for getting my clothes off at night and having something dry, and that's thankfully what I did, that I didn't get in the water. So thankful for that, because I wouldn't have anything dry then, because this is too muggy for anything to dry out to get to that point. So anyway, there's all the clothes there. This is my Old Faithful, where I boil water full of I made a Mountain House chili mac with cheese, I think it was. That was very yummy. Boil water in here also for Friday night and Saturday morning. Had hot chocolate, which was just delightful. And of course, comes with the little silicone grabby thing. You're not cooking it on this. You can see I've made that mistake. You cook it in this with your water in there, and you pull it off the fire with that little silicone thing. Very good. There's the rope paracord for hanging your bear ride. I sprayed before I left. Sprayed my hat, sprayed, all down, even arms. I don't like the feel and the smell and the taste of that, but I didn't have the permethrin. Thank you, Amazon. So I used this, and so I had to carry that extra weight. It wasn't, it's not a ton of weight, but it's weight. And I sprayed down again on Saturday morning and kept the little bugs off. Thankful for that. Love my black diamond headlamp. I won this, and I cannot remember how I did, but I won this in another smaller black diamond headlamp. And I need to check the other one, because this one does not have a red beam. And a red beam's helpful at the campsite where you're not blinding everybody's eyes that are around you. Gotta have a do-rag. Keep in my pocket, wiping my forehead all day long. Little outdoor vitals. We're getting into the sleeping pad kind of situation now, or sleep setup, whatever the terms are. I'll come up with it. This is Outdoor Vitals little blow up pillow, which is a must. It doesn't weigh anything, but this is also a must. And yeah, it weighs a little bit more, but it is just so comfortable at night having these pillows. And also this one between my legs, you know, especially if you're wearing shorts, you got, you know, you feel a little icky, it's warm weather, that kind of helps that. Always pack my stuff in bags just in case it rains. Everything in the bag is dry. Even if I put the rain cover on it, it helps in case stuff gets in. Have my little deal here for cooking. A little bit bigger canister than I really want to haul around. Got my little Coleman excuse me, stove here. You can feel some of the allergies that I've felt this weekend kind of in my throat right now. Oh, this has gone with me on every trip. It's just a great burner, great Coleman burner. And just in case, a little lighter. I could get one smaller that they say will fit in my cup, which I'll look into. What I don't like about this, yeah, it's a little bit bigger than I need. I don't know how much fuel's in here. And they say you could put it in water, and you know, where it lands in the water, you can tell how much is in there, only if the canister's got the markings for that. You know, markings on this canister, so I need to look into that. I think it's just kind of helpful, you know, because I'm bringing a canister along with me and I have no idea whether it's got enough fuel for the weekend or not. Something to look into. Trash. Oh, sleep system, bottom of my bag, always is my REI sleeping bag. Now this is cold weather sleeping bag, but it's just fine for what I do need, you know. The summer months, I'm fairly comfortable using even a winter sleeping bag. You know, maybe it's just my feet that are going in it or what, just for the comfort for the moment. It's been my go-to, and it's had a good workout along the way. 2 items in all this that aren't mine that are invaluable to me, and they're also way too expensive for me. It's the Thermarest sleep pad. I've used this the last 3 sections, and I've slept the best I've ever slept in the woods in a tent. I think I would much rather sleep in a hammock, but I've got to get up a couple times through the night. And it's just such, this one's wide, and it's just comfortable, so comfortable. And I wouldn't say I sleep like a baby, but it's great. So that's all that. And then maybe last but not least is, I don't know, okay, it's 6 Moon Designs Lunu Solo. It's kind of like the Gossamer Gear, the One or the Duo, I don't know. There's just different ones like these that do not require, they're frameless. So this is lightweight tent, and it's nice not to carry an extra 3 pounds or so. I've got a North Face tent that I love, but it's got all those poles and it's just so heavy. This is light, and it uses the trekking poles to provide the, you know, the framing, so to speak. You stake it down on all the areas, and you adjust the trekking pole with getting it stable, and it works wonderful. I love it. First go around, or maybe this is the second go around for the Black Diamonds. Bought these recently, and when I fell, and I won't go into details as to how all that happened, my weight hit on this pole as I was going down, and it did not give until I kind of catapulted, so to speak. And that's how that happened. Thankfully, that's all that happened. But that's a result of that. Didn't use them very long. I've got trekking poles that are just cheapos that I've used for 20 plus years that I've lost this, or that's been worn out, and that's why I upgraded, so to speak. They've been fantastic. They've taken all my weight all these years, and they're still good as gold. The back black diamonds, not so much. So that's, I think, all my gear. I don't think I have anything else to share. That's my shakedown of this 5th section of our Sheltowee Trace, which a bit of what may happen at this point, because we're also sore and worn out, and it was a little bit more of an adventure than we anticipated. We may be taking a bit of a break over the summer here, so there may not be many more videos. So this is it for now, and I'll check you later. Have a good one. Bye.